Strategy, thy name is Chip Ganassi Racing. Champion, thy name is Alex Palou, this number 10 Chip Ganassi Racing Honda. Amazing job. What a way to clinch a championship with a win, and not just a simple win, one where yet again, 3 races in a row. To my amazement, but I should stop being amazed, Chip Ganassi Racing absolutely outthinks and outplays the rest of the field. Scott Dixon, back-to-back wins, and now Alex Palou, his 5th victory of the year, more than anyone else. Brand new IndyCar champion, 2nd title in 4 years of IndyCar, 2nd in his 3 with Ganassi, which is an amazing thing to consider. Scott Dixon finishing 2nd for Ganassi, a 1-2. Think about last year where Team Penske absolutely murdered everybody, won everything imaginable. What happens here in the fight back? The year before was Ganassi with Palou. Joseph Newgarden wins everything last year. Will Power only wins 1 race but wins the championship. Scott McLaughlin gets wins as well, but as a team, Penske just mollywopped everybody in 2022. What do we have in 2023? We have 1 win from Marcus Ericsson. We've got those 2 so far from Scott Dixon, and we now have 5 from Alex Palou. 8 out of 16 races, 50% is what Chip Ganassi Racing has won. So if you love heavyweight boxing matches, this is what we are in the middle of. This is something where if you're an IndyCar fan, we are getting to see Penske, Ganassi. We keep hoping Arrow McLaren will get up there properly. Keep hoping that Andretti Autosport will get in there, and Ray Hall, Letterman, Lanigan Racing, and others. But at least for right now, it is these 2 heavyweights going back and forth, and championship now with 1 race left to go, which is another big rarity, clinched by Alex Palou. We'll talk to a little later in a separate video. I got a bunch of different beer options for him thanks to the Pruett Day. So anyways, amazing day. Think about what they did. This is a case where the undercut in terms of strategy, pitting early and trying to leapfrog folks, that's the standard thing. The overcut, where you stay out and go long, which is exactly what Palou did on this opening stint. He did the overcut, stayed out forever. That's where you are at big risk of a caution coming out, your day getting ruined. Took that big risk, and wow, was he rewarded. Graham Rahal, your pole sitter, leading for the first while, when Alex and that 10 car with Mike O'Gara calling strategy, right? My old hip-hop loving friend, Mike O'Gara, texted him towards the end of the race, a little screen capture of one of our favorite songs from Eric B. and Rakim, "Don't Sweat the Technique," because that's what they were doing. They weren't sweating it. They had the technique, pulled that overcut, shot Palou into the lead. Game over, basically. Come on, man. With IndyCar's call to leave the race green for so long, late in the game, with Agustin Canapino, made a mistake at the final little chicane section, high-speed chicane. Admittedly, it's about the most dangerous part of the track. Went off, flew off, stalled the car. Again, probably happened 10 or 15 times this weekend across IndyCar, Indy NXT by Firestone, all the USF championships presented by Cooper Tires. Happens all the time there, but it's crazy high speed and admittedly crazy high risk. Augustine went off, stalled the car, sitting there not too far off the racing surface. You gotta throw the yellow, and they didn't. And this ended up monkeying with Dixon's day a little bit. Ended up finishing 3rd instead of likely 2nd. Felix Rosenquist, great day, super aggressive job by Felix to finish P2 for Arrow McLaren, so great for him. But if that is a known dangerous area and a car has gone off and sitting there stalled, that is when you throw the yellow. You don't wait and let other folks cycle through and get their stuff done. If a car is off track and you deem it's worthy of throwing a yellow, don't wait 30 seconds or 45 seconds or however long. If it's dangerous enough to warrant a yellow, it should be an immediate yellow. Anyways, not a fan, but here we go. So what else can we talk about? Again, felt really bad from Graham Rahal. Did not have the reward yet again. Other than Christian Lundgaard's victory, The Rahal teams had a lot of great Saturdays, a lot of pole positions, but the Sundays, when it really matters the most, hasn't been the most rewarding for them. A couple quick shout outs. Rinus VK, boy, that kid's really just been on the rev limiter this weekend. Great performance by him. Love to see him running so strong. P6, best finish of the year for him. Joseph Newgarden, typical. Great fight back from him, getting up to 5th place. Pato Ward, P4. One of the rare instances where Pato is not the first driver home. Their teammate Alexander Rossi, unfortunately, getting hit by Marcus Ericsson. No penalty. I don't understand that. Again, this is a bunch of things I don't quite understand, but Kyle Kirkwood, the Andretti team, just had a dreadful day. Colton Herta was able to come back to a somewhat decent place, but seemingly all their cars had major adversity to fight through. Did feel bad for Canapino and what happened there. Their team, they were 23rd, I believe, coming to this race in the entrance points with his number 78 Chevy. Really needed a good finish to get back into the leader circle. Him finishing towards the very bottom will not help there. Similar for Marcus Armstrong, not on the leader circle, but just great rookie performance. Ganassi team didn't get that right rear wheel on. He ends up losing a lap. Problems there. It was a combative day, y'all. A lot of folks spent time off track, bent parts. Romain Grosjean, I think through no fault of his own, got hit in the opening lap, bent suspension, then ended up getting him back out, but then just packing it in. Great things up front for those who had the ultimate success. We're finally able to put the word penultimate to rest, by the way. But congratulations to Chip Ganassi Racing. Obviously, to everyone else who had good days, congratulations. There's a lot of adversity, though. Let's run through a couple of silly season things and some other little items, and then we'll say farewell, reconvene here in a couple days. My home track in Monterey. Mentioned in Friday's silly season piece, threw more stuff into the ether. We're expecting some drivers to be confirmed. Have one driver being confirmed on Tuesday, another one on Thursday. There's one on Friday where I recommended to them that Friday might be the day to announce that. So we should go into next weekend's season finale with Felix Rosenqvist confirmed, with Marcus Armstrong confirmed, and Lil Dave Malukas confirmed. Told you where they're all likely headed. Just as a little note, a lot of times in the silly season stories to kind of maintain peace with teams and drivers and give them a little something to announce firmly when it's time to do so. You put a little softness on things. Paddock says, rumors are, a lot of folks are saying, if you think I don't know what is actually happening when I write those things. Anyways, we're going to be looking for some cool confirmations here in the next couple of days, and there's more going on. I mentioned Romain Grosjean. Part of me wonders, was this his final race for Andretti Autosport this weekend instead of next weekend in Monterey? I don't know. This wasn't a great weekend for him. Obviously, he and the team more at odds than ever. Could we see this relationship finished before the season is finished? I have my ears open. What else? Stingray Rob is the great new thing I have had shared with me as a potential. I honestly don't remember whether it was my podcast on Monday or Tuesday or something that I've written, but I know that I mentioned his manager, Peter Rossi, Alexander's father. He and his team have done an amazing job at fundraising. That's all I've heard. Finding funds for Stingray to continue. Initially, I heard the number that had been found. Some great church groups and entities is, again, what I've been hearing. I originally heard the number was 4.5 million, which is good, but not a full budget. I've now heard since about the middle of the week that number has almost doubled. I've known that there was an interest from Dale Coyne Racing and him potentially returning a little while ago, but the cool new thing that I've heard, and heard more than once from some smart people, is Andretti Autosport, which I mentioned however many days ago, we're looking at dropping down to 3 cars. Keep hearing there might be a big enough payday potential here where they would consider sticking with 4. Oh, Brian, look at this. Hey, come here, O'Gara. I just said nice things about you, so we got to come have you. It's our guy, Mike O'Gara. Stingray Rob into that 4th at number 29 Andretti entry with a huge budget. That'd be amazing. Hey, we got to talk into my microphone here, but
nothing personal.
This is my pal, Mike O'Gara. You had to come in and deputize for our dear pal, Barry Wanzer.
Yeah.
Hey, walk-off home run here.
Lefty closer.
Victory stepping in here. Tell me about this brother and the Spanish kid who he's developing into one of the best of his generation.
Right. This is honestly the first weekend I've really heard him on the radio, because I've either been on the 8 car or been off doing IMSA stuff.
He told Chip, keep this O'Gara guy away from me, so they had to give in.
Right. He's master of his craft.
Wow.
You know, we tell him how many laps the tires have to do, and he does it. You know, we tell him a pace, we tell him a mileage, he does it. He understands the strategy. Today he knew the guys that started on reds, that peeled off early, he knew what his job was then, was to push as hard as he could for as many laps as we had left. He did that, and that was the changing moment for the race for us, was that gap he did at the end of that first stint.
Crazy.
He was just clicking off laps faster than the guys that put on reds when they stopped early. So that's where he's so good.
That overcut that you guys came up with, game changer.
Yeah, and that was him. So yesterday we're trying to figure out what tires to start on. He said, we do blacks, we go long, and it's all me after that. So not that he's a selfish guy, but he knew that he could control the race then, and he did.
Okay, so just so you know, this is all pure glamour. Just win the championship, and what do? Run off and drink champagne and celebrate? No. O'Gara and Brian, everyone else here, breaking down the timing stand, because that's part of the job of being a professional. So
that's right. That's right. The circus moves to another city next weekend. So
the only deficiency with Palou, which you are uniquely positioned to fix, he's not a hip hop guy. So
I can work on that.
I already mentioned the Eric B. and Rakim text I sent you late in the race. What are you going to tune him up on to celebrate hip hop wise for this championship?
Boy, I don't know. That's a good question.
He mentioned 3 times dope earlier this weekend. How crazy.
Maybe some old LL Cool J.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll see.
Look at this. All right, Mike O'Gara, our guy, amazing job along with everybody here. Julian Robertson, just phenomenal technical director and race engineer.
Yeah.
You guys get this thing knocked down so you can, if you show up a little wobbly on Tuesday or Wednesday at Monterey, we will totally understand.
These guys deserve it. I'm glad I could just help fill in, and I wanted to be as little of a bump in the road as possible, and try to make Alex comfy in the car, and hopefully we did that. And now I'm going to teach him I'm bad.
Yes.
See?
Yeah. Can we get Alex Palou to do I'm bad for us on camera? I'm going to go feed him a beer and talk with him here in a minute. But anyways, let's go ahead and close real quick. So yeah, as I said, not telling you it's guaranteed to happen. Sometimes these conversations take place. A team or the driver decides it's not the move for them, but that is an interesting one where it sounds like there's been really significant financial support that's been gathered for Stingray. Hasn't had a great rookie season, cleaned things up a lot in the second half of the year, so congratulations to him. Great kid, truly a great kid, has talent, tends to need 2-3 years to really get into that comfortable place that Mike mentioned. But anyways, that's something that we're keeping an eye on. Another thing, this team right here, the Ganassi team, have heard for a while now, and again, we won't confirm anything, but we'll tell you, don't be surprised. How's this? Maybe that's the new code word in whatever I write or whatever I say here. If I tell you don't be surprised, that's our secret code that it's really happening, but I want to leave a little bit for the team to announce so it feels a little bit like news. Don't be surprised if the DHL colors on the 28 Andretti machine move over here to Ganassi next year. So maybe that's one last little thing. Barry Wanzer, we love you, we miss you. I probably should have held this up the whole time because it looks a lot better than my face, but seriously, love you, Barry. Lori Wanzer as well, we love you, your whole family, thinking of nothing but you. And what a better way to end the season with a victory for our guy who's just come out of the hospital and still has a fight ahead with the cancer that he has. But they're going to get it. He's going to be fine. They're going to be celebrating him with him here shortly. time to be done here in Portland. Speak to you here in a couple days in Monterey, where the first thing we're going to do, Colton Herta, Brian Herta, 1998 Renard Cosworth, 15,000 or so horsepower, that'd be amazing, 15,000 RPMs or so, about 900 horsepower, brand new, beautiful Firestone sticky tires. Let's see what kind of lap time gets made there. Can't wait. One more race and we're done. Ultimate race is coming up. I'll speak to you here soon.